Last week, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau granted an exclusive interview to the Toronto Star. In it, they talk about a wide range of topics, and what's clear to me is that Justin Trudeau no longer makes any sense. I mean, if you read this interview, you'll see the things that he says, it just doesn't add up. And I'm a guy who likes a good debate. I like a good dialogue. If he was giving us some stuff that we could dig into, I'd be happy. It's good for my job. But he doesn't really give us anything to talk about. It's just a lot of confusion. Let's take a look, and I think you'll see what I mean. In this conversation with the Toronto Star, he assures the Canadian people that he's very proud to be Canadian. Justin Trudeau says, "I'm incredibly proud of Canada and always have been, not because it's perfect, but because it could be. We've made mistakes, and to pretend we haven't made any mistakes is actually not being honest with ourselves about the country we are, because you don't get a chance to learn from those mistakes and get better than them." Now, this is coming from the Prime Minister who refused to raise our flag for months on end in 2021. So consider me skeptical about his patriotism. But let's be charitable. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he is proud to be Canadian and pride just looks different to him. Okay. The part of this statement that's particularly alarming is where he says Canada could be perfect. What does that mean exactly? What does perfection look like to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau? Well, you got to think about it this way. He's been concentrating more and more power in the hands of the federal government. Is this part of his perfection agenda? If we give him enough power, will he achieve perfection for us? It's all very confusing, and it's odd to see him speak this way, because when he first became Prime Minister back in 2015, he actually said quite clearly perfection was not possible. In an open letter to Canadians, he wrote, "When we make a mistake, as all governments do, it is important that we acknowledge that mistake and learn from it. We know that you do not expect us to be perfect, but you expect us to work tirelessly and to be honest, open, and sincere in our efforts to serve the public interest." The humility that Trudeau showed in 2015 is completely gone by 2023. Now he seems to think that he can do no wrong. According to Susan Delacourt, he told the Toronto Star, "There are people in Canada right now who have to hit out at everyone they see who's in charge. I mean, they might think it's about me, but it's not about me. It's about the fact that the world is changing in really unpredictable and sometimes scary ways that people don't feel involved in." So Trudeau acknowledges that Canadians are unhappy, but we shouldn't expect him to take any responsibility for that. What leadership qualities he has. Now, this conversation with the Toronto Star continues, and Trudeau continues to assert that he should bear no responsibility for anything going wrong in Canada, and if you're upset about the direction of the country, you are, as you may have guessed, according to Trudeau, a racist. He says to the Toronto Star, what is he, Pierre Poilievre, actually suggesting? He says everything is broken. He plays and exploits the kinds of anger and fears about a Canada that used to be where men were men and white men ruled. So many questions worth asking. Like, why does Justin Trudeau talk about white men in power as if he's not a white man in power? Or does Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party think that there are no Black Canadians or Indigenous Canadians or Asian Canadians who are unhappy with his leadership? And does he really believe there's no legitimate reason to think that Canada could be a better country with a different leader? Is there no legitimate reason to be unhappy with Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister? Now, it would be fantastic to ask some of these questions, and perhaps if Prime Minister Trudeau would like to give the National Post another exclusive interview, we could ask some of them to him directly.